Hello, and welcome back to another Patreon replay analysis for the ASAP Weekly podcast. My name is Combo, and today we're going to be working through the replay from Bongtage, a longer patron now. He's been with me for a couple months. He's always super excited whenever I send in the replays to him, which makes me happy. To quote him, the last time I sent him a replay, he said that it was like Christmas in quarantine. So I appreciate how excited he is always for the reviews. It seems like he gets his friends in on them as well, which is cool, and shows them some feedback and trying to just build a better team dynamic. So I appreciate you, Bongtage. Thank you so much for always supporting, sending along some great replays. This looks like a nice close game. He did mention that his friends didn't want him to upload this one, but he did it anyways. So that made me want to review it even more. So I'm excited to get into it. I don't think there's too much more than that. He did correct me last time. As you can see, the guy on the left there, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce a name like that. But he did tell me I'm going to say it this one time, but I'm going to keep calling him JO3 anyways. It's pronounced Chornobravi. It's Ukrainian. So very cool name. He is JO3 in my heart and will be JO3 in this replay review. So that's where we're going to leave it. And we are going to start off right away. So let's see how the lads do today. Interesting no kickoff and easy goal. We take those. Little clunky on the kickoff. This is, if I can diagnose anything here, one of the main things I tend to see when people are still practicing these kickoffs is if we watch closely, you'll see right away as soon as you start the flip, if ever it comes. There we go. Let's up the speed a little bit here. So you boost, which is good. You jump right on the boost, great timing, but you flip so early that you'll see your hood ends up hitting the ground and bouncing you upwards, and then you end up not being able to land perfectly on your side. You end up landing sideways, as you can see here, which then as soon as you land, drifts you off to the side, and then you have to try to jump so quick again to recover to it that not only one are you late, as you can see, you're quite, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Like I'm the type of person that likes delaying my kickoffs a little bit so I can come slow, but you're so late here that it ends up getting this pretty gnarly bounce off of the two of you. Luckily, you have JO3 over there ready to eat it up, but just being wary of that. That literally just comes from double tapping that jump up just a little bit too quickly that you'll end up catching the bottom, and you got to be careful of that. So keep that in mind. Shouldn't be any ever panic on kickoffs. This truthfully should be probably the tightest muscle memory you have, should be those kickoffs, and keep going from there. A little bit of a boost miss. If that's okay. Good job to the back post. I want to say though, and this is gonna be me pushing you a little bit here, Bongtage. You get the full boost, or you miss, and then you get the full boost. You use a little bit, but then you stop. And should you be using boost here? Like maybe not, but you're so slow back to net, right? And then you very easily could get burned for that. Like there's no jumps, there's no boost, there's no nothing. You just kind of dinkily come into the back of the post there. When in reality, I want you going much faster than this. And so as soon as you start, I'm gonna leave it here and draw it out. As soon as you start, you come through, take your kickoff, come to this boost. Generally, what I'm doing one of two things. I'm either coming up this wall, jumping off, and then diagonal flipping this way, so I have a nice line right through then these three boost pads. So then I'm using a little bit of boost right here most likely, and then I'm refilling it on these three pads in this little loop here, which works quite well. Or in your case, so you come across, you miss the boost, and you circle back this way. At this point, the second you come to this boost, I want you diagonal flipping right here so that you again have a lane right into those back pads on the way back. There's no reason that we're kind of slowly just yep, and then cycling into the net. It's wasting time, and it's that idle. I know I talked about it last month. It's this idle time that we need to be filling as much as possible. So your idle time here needs to be a diagonal flip right here, landing, maybe using a little spur to boost, diagonal flipping again as you come through that pad right here, and you're gonna be supersonic, rotating into the back of the net. Does it end up burning you? No, but it's something especially now as you are pushing in like to the low champ area and playing in there. You got to start being able to maximize your speed and your velocity on the field at all times. And this is a really, really big part of that, is being able to rotate fast, rotate well, and rotate very intentionally every single time, so that right away you know that JO3 is going to be in net, knows you're coming into the back post, and knows that you've recovered in very quick time. When instead, like I said, if we watch this, we end up just getting this pretty slow right? You just kind of look, you look like pedestrian traffic, right? When I want you to look like a Formula One racer. So trying to keep that in mind at all times. That you really got to be pushing your speed to the limits in a lot of these, and going from there. Good patience, a little dangerous. This is I was just talking about this with one of the guys I coach as well. He's Diamond 3 player, so he's really trying to start innovating his fakes. These fakes are probably the easiest to read from the blue team, of that as you come up to this ball, he is also coming dead on to this ball, so that if you fake, he just needs to hit the ball, because you are either going to hit it into him or you're not going to hit it and he's going to hit it. That he has both options, technically correct. So these kind of balls are where you want to be faster and trying to read your opponent to read the risk, because to me you have one of two options. You're either going to drive to this ball. If you think he's going to beat you, you're just going to drive dead on, hit this ball absolutely dead center to kill enough time for JO3 to rotate back in behind you, and then again we start that defensive rotation. Or if you think you're going to beat him at this rate, I'm either diagonal flipping if I think at the time. If not, that's fine. I'm getting a little boost in here because you have plenty, and I'm hitting hard on the side of this ball so that I can pass to either one of your lads over here who can turn in and now start the play, plus you stay with them for a 2-on-1. Last month I talked a lot about this intentional play, right, of like always looking for a teammate. You play with the guys a lot, so try to use this, and this should be a big part. So right now, as JO3 is cycling back into net, Ranger should actually be watching the play so that he can see whether or not he should be turning with the play, or if he's going to have to maybe pick a different boost or cut off early or something, right? He's now the person in the idle time, because we already see JO3 is cycling back. I'm going to clean up the screen. We already know JO3 is cycling back, so now Ranger needs to make use of this idle time of how am I going to do it? Am I going to collect pads? Am I going to rush net? Am I going to rush corner? Am I going to turn for maybe, do I think Bongtage is going to win here? Whatever that looks like, he needs to be doing this. And so then that puts the pressure on you to be able to make a smarter play. Is your play going to be just going into this ball? Is it going to be hitting into the far corner? Is it going to be just hitting hard, taking a 50, whatever that looks like? I think you have more than enough time to get on the other side here and pass over, but obviously in the middle of a game, decision making needs to be a little quicker. But as we watch, you definitely could have beat him to this, right? If you had flipped right about now, or even a little earlier, and then maybe side flipped into the side, you're getting a nice roll over there. You see right now, one of their players is very awkward in net. One is rotating into net, and this guy's in the neutral zone coming cross field this way. So as soon as you see this is the kind of mental math you got to do. That you're like, okay, obviously the golden side of the field is over here, so that we can create some space, right? And so like I said, just as I had said before, we see that JO3 is currently cycling back, meaning as Ranger is coming, this should be Ranger to be able to turn back into this play without any amount of boost that he has. It's very easy to still turn and make a play to then maybe hit it back to you, take a shot on net, dribble it, do whatever he feels like doing. And so right away, you're creating way more options for your team, where like I said, this fake, if you can draw a straight line between your challenge, his challenge, and the ball, chances are you shouldn't fake, because it's just going to be a 50 instead, meaning if you try to fake, exactly what ends up happening here, you don't jump, and just like that, the ball very easily is one up over you, right? And so something you got to be very careful about, because that definitely should have been a goal against. Good try on reading it there. Good job. Beautiful play down the field. And now idle time. Let's see it. Good flips. See the boost pads. Well done. Right to that back post. Beautiful. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid in this case of timing your straight cam usage with hits. So right here, the ball is hit in, so you should be in ball cam. You see your teammate hits it. The second he hits it, and now you see that there's no pressure, go to straight cam, because if you go to straight cam right now, you can line up a nice little boost route, right? So if I go to straight cam right now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going through this boost. I can drive here, maybe diagonal flip this way to get a little bit of speed, and then I'm going to be cycling through 1, 2, 3 more boosts as I come into that back post. So just like that, you're generating about 50 boost between those 4 pads just by literally cycling into net, right? Which is huge and something you should be looking at. Whereas instead, since you're in that ball cam, you can't see that you're actually missing boosts, and you only get 1 on the way back in rather than those the 4 that we could have had. So trying to keep that in mind as much as you can as well on those cycle backs. Let's see. Ranger gets the hit. You cycle into the back post. You currently have a player in the front post, and right here you just got a hard break. I know for a fact, I brought this up last time, is that there's a nice line right here on this back post that you just need to stop behind, because you already have someone on the front post. So you going, you're either going to double commit or hit your teammate. There is no good option of you going here, so you just need to wait, maybe have some calm, see like, oh, like, hey, JO3, or you awkward, great, I'm gonna go, whatever that looks like, and make those decisions. But right now you are gonna be like almost encroaching on his space when he should be the defender, and the second that you choose to go up for this, now you both have, and now he actually very nearly hit you out of the way, and then both of you are gonna miss that ball. That's a wide open net, and then just like that, blue has a goal, right? And so you gotta be careful here, because realistically, when this ball is centered, I can show you, and this is kind of like a dabble into like the GC level of play. As soon as this ball, if I'm in your position right now, chances are I'm trusting my teammate's going to get a pretty easy hit here. So I'm actually going to start leaning out this way, because what I'm expecting is that JO3 is going to come up to this ball, hit it when it's right at its peak, and then that ball is going to be cleared right down the center. Because right now you have the most information. You see all 3 defenders, and you see none of them are in position to make a save. So if I'm JO3, I'm trying to hit that in the center, and if I'm you, I'm hoping that I can catch that and walk it into a wide open net. This is not something you should be going for yet. I want you to be a lot more comfortable hitting the ball, things like that. But it's a good look into why I'm trying to really push you to not jump into this and stay behind this line. Because as long as you stay behind this line, you have enough information, you trust JO3, you're like, great, now I'm going to go and start that breakout. And if I show you from the overhead, you can see exactly what I'm talking about with why that breakout's so strong, is that if JO3 hits this ball in the center, like they are not ready for that, right? If he gets good power in the center, you see he kind of goes for it too. You can see his line is aiming for the net there. And now imagine you're coming to the sidewall like this and then breaking out. That's a very easy catch for you somewhere in that neutral zone when he hits that. And just like that, we're starting to rush, right? Which is really cool. And then Ranger can fall in behind. JO3 can get his boost. Like we're starting these cycles rather than getting these double touches because we're worried if our teammate's going to hit it or not, right? You got to calm it down on that goal line, or else you're never going to be able to generate offense from your defense, which is a huge part of ranking up, especially in your rank right now. That transition game is what will really break down some teams. Same thing, so he hits it. Really good bump. Actually, maybe, honestly, with player view, I don't know if you're going to straight cam or not. I think normally it does tell me. So my guess is that you didn't. But this is where you want to go to straight cam, see where the defender is, see if maybe, yeah, you can take a bump, or if you can get something else, and you can start generating some really good stuff. And then immediately following, you get a great bump. You are now in front of the ball. Why are we rushing, right? You have control. You have a little bit of boost to work with, right? Like not a whole lot, but you have a little boost to work with. You know there's only one defender, and you know you have teammates coming in behind. So why are we hitting this ball? Because there's no purpose. You're not shooting on net. You're not beating him over his head. There's nothing like that. You're literally just putting that ball into the back wall. He gets a touch and now can work it out himself, right? So same thing. You really, really got to slow down this play. Try to be intentional. Try to break the play down before you make your decisions so that you can be a little smarter when you're coming into it. Good challenge though, really good cutoff. Good shot, better save. Careful on the turn though, right? And so this is a little bit of the trust. And like I don't know if Ranger called it, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But still, the second you turn here, and you can hear your teammate jumping to the right of you, right? Like you can hear that coming. And so the second you turn, you might even be getting in his head of like that you're confusing him. And we're lucky that he backflipped because we didn't get a double commit. But same thing, like what is your purpose in challenging here, right? Let your teammate get it. So you know that he's coming from the right side. So what's stopping you is you're rotating out to go to this boost over here, and then in the mid. Actually, let me draw from above. When you're on your way out, come over to this boost area. It doesn't matter if it's there or not. There's pads on the way. As you're coming out, come across, and you're hoping that he can get up and hit this ball so that you can cycle back in. JO3 can cycle behind, and same thing. See how we're producing this 1, 2, 3 the entire time, even on what feels like an awkward ball like this. But when you turn, now both of you are committed. JO3 needs to cycle back around, and we now have no pressure because both of you are going to try to go to this ball. Therefore, if you hit this, which you do, we're just giving it back, and that's exactly what happens. You can see it again here as we watch. You jump up, you hit this ball, but to who? All we're doing is Pog Shock, who is then able to boom that downfield again and make whatever play that he wants to out of it, right? And so again, we've rushed this play. We haven't generated something that we need to. Again, careful on the doubles, right? So I know this looks dangerous. It's not. This pops in the middle. You see, you have to trust that JO3 is there. This ultimately isn't your save, right? As soon as you see that he's boosting and Pog Shock isn't going, even in this case, man, like I'm side flipping, right? Like I'm just trying to get out of his way so that he can get a nice, easy clear, because where you're clearing, there's danger. Where he is clearing, there's not. So you really got to be careful of that you don't need to be the hero. You don't need to do everything. But instead, we end up getting, I actually think that was Logia who hit that, not you. Yeah, it was Blue Trail. But still, it could be very, very dangerous, right? Good switch up, but this is another case of a pretty bad transition, right? So you guys are in stuck tight in defense. There's a good clear. The second there's a good clear, especially for you right now, you got to recognize you're the third man. So you see that even though JO3 hit this and you know that you can start making your way out, you got to assess that Ranger had also jumped for this, making you the through and through third man here. You cannot leave the net, right? There's so much risk to you leaving. Even just that flip, if there was a boom on net, you wouldn't be ready for, right? And so when you come, I agree with this challenge. Like, don't get me wrong, wrong. You see that JO3 doesn't go, but again, you need to assess, look where Ranger is right now. He also decided to do the exact same thing JO3 did, because technically they both went for the same ball, they both had the same rotation, and now they're just doing it on mirrored on either side, meaning you need to be the goalie here, right, and do what you can. Do I wish JO3 challenged us anyways without boost? 100%. I think that's good feedback for him of that. If we go back a little bit, when he lands, he needs to assess you guys were just under pretty heavy pressure, and despite feeling like, oh, yes, I'm under pressure, therefore I need boost, that's not the case. You're under pressure, therefore you need to apply some pressure to allow your other two teammates to get some boost, because now both you are boostless, all three of you are out of net, and now when two of you go for boost, you, the boostless third man, goes to the challenge, and that's a very easy flick for Livia, right? And so right away we're seeing the breakdown of your transition game from defense into offense, more or less from the fact that you guys are rushing these challenges so much, right? And you're making these decisions that are, I think, a little more self-centered than team-centered, and you guys need to start to grind this a little more as a team and understand what those breakers are going to look like, because I'm sure you're blaming yourself on that goal, but like, it's less on your challenge, it's more that you went for it in the first place, right? Similarly, like I said, I wish JO3 went for it. I wish Ranger didn't go for that mid boost. Like, all three of you made rather selfish decisions on that play, and you end up getting burned for it. So try to keep that in mind as you're trying to kind of work out what your team rotations are going to look like moving forward. As a small note, just as we're talking about speed, diagonal flip here. They're right here. You notice that when you watch from here, you get to this boost, and you're never supersonic. Not once are you supersonic on the entire time. Whereas instead, if I look from above, if you do so what I do is I drive to about a 45-degree angle, and then I will diagonal flip like this, so it has me on an off angle, and then instantly, with the little bit of boost I had with the diagonal flip, what I'll have is what's it called? I'll be supersonic, and then I'm able to rotate right through, get this boost without using any, and I stay supersonic without using any, and then I can keep moving downfield, grab whatever pad I need to in whatever lane I need to. That's why these three pads are so important here in this kind of arch, because your entire trajectory is based on that. So I'll literally drive forward with a slight curve, diagonal flip here to then come around, and then if the ball is on the left, great, I can grab this pad and go through, or I can just go right up and through, whatever that looks like. If the ball is in somewhere in the middle here, and I know it's mine, great, I can with right through the middle. And then if I know that the ball maybe got sat and I need to go back to net, great, I can hard drift back this way, or I can cut off this way. So you can see that you're covering all angles, and despite you already technically doing this, adding in being supersonic to this completely changes the way that you can play it, because you're way more available for everything that comes up. You're already at speed, you don't need to use more boost. You can, and watch as I draw the line here, you see how you drive straight to it, but if you try the diagonal, now you have to hard drift to get back into that play, and you can see how much wider that turn is, right? So your end goal is here, but if I'll draw yours in yellow, so your line was this, like that. Whereas if I draw it in blue, the line I'm talking about, to get to the same spot while also supersonic, not needing anything else, is like this with the flip. A lot more direct, if you see what I mean. And so while this gap here may not feel as direct, like I'm saying, it's allowing you to be more direct when you're coming through the boost in the first place, plus your supersonic, which does shave a little more time than what your lane that you'd previously taken. Super small, but a really cool way to kind of, same thing, push that speed higher. Always be trying to push the limit of what your speed and your game should be looking like, and I promise you'll start to see some payoff for it as well. Good look, pass. Is it on? Oof, nice try. Beautiful offensive rotations there for the team. You guys look great. And then you end up cutting. I know it feels logical to be here, and let's watch JO3's perspective. He's already waiting for this ball, right? But see, now all three of you have inched your side in here, and now Ranger, whose hope is to cycle out of the zone, now needs to become that number two, because you've moved in here, he's pulled out, and now if you see, we're in this little bit of chaos of like who had the better angle, where if instead, if we cycle all this back, oh god, if we cycle all this back and you just stayed here and hovered, maybe driving in circles or whatever you need just to keep speed, right? And Ranger cycles out maybe that way and then comes around, and then JO3 comes, you now know that you can either cut off to help out Ranger, or if JO3 wins, great, you have a shot on net. And so right away we're keeping in this full field rotation, right? We're keeping in this full field coverage rather than all three of you clumping up right here, right? It's something we really got to watch for. Because now look, we center, but we don't have anyone in the center. And now JO3 is much later because you could have been there instead for that if not for him, right? Good job staying close though. With the limited boost you have, that's just good clear. And then this is, I was going to comment saying this looks like a little bit awkward body language. You have full boost right now, and so it doesn't matter if you're solo queuing or with a team, never drive directly at your back boost if you have full boost, because JO3 is probably wondering if he has a line, right? If you're taking it or not. And I'm sure maybe you have the ability to calm this. Maybe you are quick enough to be like, oh, I'm not taking, I'm leaving, whatever that is. But what's the point in driving here when, again, we are all clumped in together, and we don't need that at all. So if I'm going to push it back just a little bit here. So this ball comes around, you steal their boost. Right now, you see that Ranger is going to be cycling with not much all the way back. JO3 is currently taking the ball. So if I'm you right now, I'm going to find whatever boost lane I can to go to the far post, right? We're looking for that back post rotation already because you currently are in the best position to do so. And the best part is maybe you can take a demo on the way. Maybe the ball pops off a wall and it lands and you can just hit it back in. Like there's little things you can add in. And this is what I'm talking about, that idle time of that right now, your only goal, as you see him rotating back because you got the boost, meaning he's going to need that back one, and JO3 is challenging, your only thought should be back post because you know you're already going to have two teammates along this sidewall, right? This is the forethought. I really, if I give you anything, Bongtage, start throwing this into your play, right? Really start thinking about where am I currently and where are my teammates, and this is how you can help avoid this, and all three of you can do this kind of thinking, right? Like this is relevant for all of you, but as Bongtage is the example right now, and so, right, if like I said, if I'm you, I'm diagonal flipping right here so I can make my way right to that back post, no questions asked. I'll maybe switching between straight and ball cam as much as I can just to see like maybe what's going on in the play, but I'm staying the hell out of this area because this, as you see, is just an absolute chaos area that we do not need to fill. And the second you drive down this line, not only are you front post rotating technically, right, when you're coming in here, but now when JO3 gets beat, both of you are back and nobody is able to do anything. Where if instead, if you were rotating this way, Ranger would know full well that it's his ball and you're rotating into net. The body language here is what's so much more relevant. Whereas now both of you feel obligated to go for this ball. And just like that, even with full comms, you are potentially producing a, what's it called? A double commit. But you guys are able to get out of it well, which is great. It's a good win, JO3. Same thing, this is just JO3 feedback. Take our time, right? Right now, if I'm JO3 and this is coming, I'm quickly peeking straight cam so I can see if there's a shooter, or I'm hoping, and I use the comm shooter quite a bit, or no shooter. And so if I'm Bongtage or Ranger right now, I'm saying no shooter, no shooter, no shooter, so that JO3 can just grab this, catch, and walk it out. But instead, now possession is given away once again, right? And you guys really got to work on this. You got to start refining your possession because we're just giving this ball away every single time that the play is coming. Same thing, Ranger, where's the ball going, right? What's the point? Ranger, you should see full open space. There's literally no challenger right now. Start a dribble. We don't need to do anything else. But when you hit this ball hard and take such a wide arc to it, that's an easy hit for Logia, right? And Bongtage, I appreciate that you're out here waiting. Might not be the play right now, right? Like I think something I really had to settle in for myself is that this pass where you are directly in front of your teammate and you know that and you can tell from just speed that they don't have any velocity to get enough power on the ball to get to you, just cycle back. Just cycle in that back post. It's absolutely worthless to go. At least by you doing that, you're giving the body language for JO3 to join the play so that Ranger and JO3 can go as you cycle back and behind. This feels right, and it honestly felt right well into GC for me and even higher, but it only recently did I start identifying that this just isn't a doable pass. And put yourself in this situation. If let's say, and this is a really good exercise for you, that if we look at Ranger right now, tell me from his view, you can't tell me, but think about it. Does this look like an easy pass? He comes, he sees you up there. Is there any way he can get, and it looks like he's trying to get that to you, right? But is there any actual way that he can realistically get that ball to you? Not at all, right? Like that is a virtually impossible pass to make, and something that is more on you, Bongtage, that you can try to change to help out the team, to give them more options, to be a little more part of the play. Because right now, your idle time, if we go back, let's look at it. You get a touch, 3:07 when you got that touch. And there's a goal against, actually. So a full 12 seconds of you not being in your own end, right? And not being relevant to the play. And there's a goal against, right? And so I hope you can see what I mean. Whenever I identify this idle time, this is a huge part of what I'm talking about and a big thing of what I try to break down for you. Good clear. Good follow. Oh, so close on the jump. Really good try. Great effort. Oh, just by the whiskers. Couldn't quite get there. I don't have any comments on that. That was a good play all around. Unfortunately, Joe3 didn't get the challenge in the neutral zone, but again, hard to expect him. The rotations are a little wide from you guys that time around. But that was just a good goal against. Good effort. Slow it down, like I said. We don't need to rush it. Now save on JO3. We can slow it down, but a great save by Ranger gets you guys out of it. Slow it down, right? You come here, you come to this challenge, 30 boost to your name, and you should already see by now the blue player to your left has jumped. We can't see him right now, but now you can see him there. Logia has jumped already, just behind your car there. And so why are we jumping now and wasting the boost that we already have, right? You just used half the boost that you had for nothing to come out of it, but luckily we are in the other end and we are able to produce a great goal. So well done. But that's what I mean, right? Of like you can be a little more intelligent with these plays. You don't always need to be the first person jumping. You don't need to be rushing these plays. If I can give you guys anything as a team, it's just slow her down on defense, right? There's no panic to a lot of these plays. Good shot. Well done. Way to tap the game. I will say you guys are pretty far out, right? So especially you here, Bongtage. This play is a good attempt in the middle, but we're so far back right now. Like there's no chance this is being boomed, right? So like, why are we not inching in? And now you have to use all your boost in a pretty harsh angle just to try to get there, and you're beat to it, right? Because we're so far back. Great read. And this is what I'm talking about. This actually goes back to the exact first play I was talking about. JO3 right here should be seeing, this is idle time. So he goes for this challenge, misses. As soon as this lands, right away, I'm watching to see if there's a goal. There isn't one. I'm actually, as soon as I see that, I'm going to stop boosting. I'm going to hard break right now to see if I can be part of this play. And if he hard braked, he actually maybe could have been there for the goal. Was it fast? 100%. I definitely can't confirm whether or not he could have got there. But these are the kind of plays I'm looking for all the time. Of that, if I'm Ranger in this situation, when I'm going up for this clear, I'm very, very intentionally. We'll see. So this pops up over. I'm very intentionally picking the side that I saw a teammate. So I just watched, and like if I'm Ranger here, I'm going back. I watched JO3 challenge. JO3 just challenged it, so I know he's on the right side of the field. This ball pops up. My first thought, obviously, let's get a touch, clear the ball. So he goes up, and so I love that he's on. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but he's on this side of the ball. And I would be doing this every single time to see if I can feed JO3, and it's a beautiful touch down the field to almost get it. You, Bongtage. Mr. Challenge here too. Good effort. You cannot take these challenges. I know it hurts. I know it's sad because they feel good. Every single time a ball that I've ever seen, you're a little in a better angle here, but still, anytime that there's a ball between the blue and the orange player, so your offensive corner, their defensive corner, it always goes this way. So I've seen so many goals, I'm sure you have too, from this exact pinch. Never take it. Just don't take this challenge. It's not worth it. I still make the mistake every once in a while, so it's fine. But you can see the 50s never work out. Good patience there. Great job with the brake check. I saw that. Get your pads, right? And this should be instinctual right now, of that you just drive to that pad, right? That's 12 extra boosts you had to your name there. You already used 11, right? And so keeping that in mind, 9. And so keeping that in mind, you got to be wary of that. You got to keep that in mind as you're driving around the field. So you miss a pad there, you miss a pad there, and now you get a pad. And we could have been near full at this point, right? With going. Really good patience there. That was a fantastic save. The double commits, got to slow it down on defense, lads. And that's what I'm talking about. So this ball goes up. Let's see who's behind you. JO3 comes behind you. This ball goes up. If I'm Ranger in this case, actually, and I see Bongtage touching, I'm going to start inching out the other way so that I can be the first one to this ball. And so that instead of that, you guys aren't going to get stuck in. You can actually start a breakout instead. Start trying it. You're going to let in some goals. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Like, you will start letting in some goals by being this ballsy, right? But it's something you are going to need to start trying to generate because it's a huge part of upping your speed and getting a little faster. Good patience, right down. Oof. Oh, big Goomba. Nice. And get in it, right? Full boost. As soon as you this is where you start refining these touches. You see JO3 hit this. The second he hits this, you know he's not hitting that again. No hope in hell is his card going to hit that again. You should be full boosting right to that ball right now to help out because Ranger's already cycling in. So start these breakouts, right? Start getting these plays where you guys are playing smart and intentional. As soon as JO3 hits this, you only start boosting now, and by that point, Pog Shock is already there. But you were close, right? Only imagine if you were boosting even earlier that you could have potentially read that and gotten back in time. That's a great touch on it anyways, but let's just quickly see if there's anything else. Nope, that's just a great pass, unfortunately. It does come, like I said, Bongtage, like I wish you were on it, but truthfully, JO3, this is a pretty risky touch, right? Anytime you, with power, put it off your sidewall here, you need to either know a teammate's behind you by calling it, or be the one who's going to follow it yourself, so always be careful of those. I almost always, instead of hitting it up here, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I almost always try to roll it instead, so that my flip then from here will carry me up, and then I can start a breakout the other way to Bongtage streaking down the middle, right? Like, there's more plays you can make. Again, don't know if it was intentional for you to hit that ball right there, but keep it in mind, it is a very dangerous play as you end up seeing. Alright, great touch nonetheless. I think he's scored every goal, hasn't he? Yeah. Big carry. Big old carry. Good patience. And good luck on the pass. I love it. I don't even care that wasn't a great pass. You should be looking for those all the time. I love it. That was my favorite part of the entire replay, was watching that. That was such a good attempt. Great game, man. Okay, I hope there's some stuff you can pull there. Definitely timing's a big thing for you guys. You got to slow it down, be a little more patient, be intentional. Try to work that out yourselves. Bongtage, specifically for you, man, I think a big part of your play right now is going to be twofold. One, slow, like, you are a fast player and you look like a smart player. Like, you look like you are constantly trying to make plays and generate things. So to me, if that's what I associate you as, is that be fast to the ball, be tight, use your speed to your advantage, but don't hurl yourself at the ball, right? So, like, be incredibly fast, always be right next to the ball whenever you know it's your challenge, but never jump into it, and be weary of where your teammates are, right? Try to associate the solid rotations and always trying to like identify, hey, both my teams run this side of the field. I'm going to do everything I can to get to the other side of the field so we're not bunching up, so I don't rotate from post, all those kind of things. So that's one of the big ones. And then the second big thing is that since you are fast, let's see you start elevating the play, right? So let's see you looking for breakouts. Let's see you looking for passing plays. Let's see you looking for these more intentional, smart, intelligent, fast plays that are going to really, especially, man, at your rank, people won't even know how to comprehend it if you can start mastering this. So if you really start putting that down, you're going to start seeing some huge offense from you guys, because I truthfully think that's a big lack of that on defense. You rush too many challenges, you cut each other. There's this general sense of panic on defense, when in reality you guys are all three very good players and you shouldn't need to panic. A lot of your goals against come from just like not making smart decisions or making selfish decisions. And then on offense, you can start generating more offense by having plays like this. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind you did get 2 basically free kickoff goals this game, so realistically you only earned the 1. I hate saying it like that, but it is true. And so, like, that is a big thing you got to keep in mind, that, like, despite this game feeling close, they definitely did outplay you. So this is a way you can start breaking down those teams. Look for intentional passes, look for cuts when possible, call them, make those plays, and I promise you'll start to see more offense generated. So thanks as always for sending. I've been Combo for ASAP Weekly. This has been another Patreon replay analysis. We are going to be moving into just standard coaching, no longer Patreon. So I'm going to stop using that call out, but this will be one of the last couple times. So thanks again, Bongtage. Thanks anybody for watching, listening, however you choose to partake. And I will see you all next time. Bye for now.